Hello, so today I'd like to talk about monster combat math, and it's hard. I've done many spreadsheets trying to figure out exactly how to calculate what I would need to kill something, and I think I've got it, and then I change one thing and it messes everything up. But one thing that is pretty much static is the fact that the power of your troops doesn't really matter. And I want to show you an example of that right now. So what I want to do is I'm just going to search for a level 20 monster. So renegade. So renegades, and if you keep looking, I forget, there's renegades and barbarians. They're all pretty much the same thing. Just level 20 monsters. So if I go ahead and I want to attack, let me go back. Oops. Okay, so one thing you can see is the power level of the monster. So this says it's 406.8 thousand. All right, so let's remember that number, roughly 400,000. All right, so if I say go ahead and attack, I have this preset set. So I have Li Jing is the one general that I'm going to use, and I'm going to go here and just send some level 5 cavalry. And if I want to set, let's see, so if I send 18,017, okay, you can see here that it says my power is just 164,000. So you would think there's no way that could beat the level 20 barbarian or whatever it was that we're attacking, because it was 400,000 power. And if you click March, you can see even Evony's like, you're nuts. You're not going to beat this guy. And I'm going to ignore that and say go. And let me just speed up my march here. And so we go and attack. And lo and behold, we have no power lost. We beat it without even taking any kind of damage. Okay? And so I might think, okay, what's going on here? And let's just go ahead and send this guy back. And let's find another one. Okay, so attack here, same power, the 400,000 power. Say go ahead and attack. We use Li Jing as the general again. And this time, instead of sending cavalries, let's just send all the guards we have. So 56,000 compared to the 18,000 that I was sending of the cavalry. And you can see my power is 419,000. Definitely bigger than the 408,000 that we were trying to attack. And if I say go ahead and march, it doesn't even give me the warning. It says, yeah, you've got this. And we go and look at what's going on. And sure enough, we beat it, but we took damage. So if we look at the report, we can see, we sent all these troops there, but we got 133 wounded. Even though our power in this case was much bigger than the power of the mounted troops that we sent. And there's a reason for this. If we look at in the rally spot, if we look at the troop details and we go to look at the guard cavalries, so if I select this, you can see the power of each cavalry is 6.64. And if we look at the guards, it's also 6.64. You look at the range, 6.64. So everything of level 5 is the same power, considered the same power. But, if we go ahead and look at the cavalries again, you can see that the attack is almost 2,500. Whereas the attack for the guards is only 900. And that's the main thing, is that the attack power that you're sending against the monster is what really matters in terms of either getting wounded or not getting wounded. And so that's why most or all monster attacks, you should be sending your mounted, because your mounted in general has much higher attack value than anything else. If you look at the range is better than the ground, but it still is only less than half of what the mounted was. Now, granted, I have certain abilities that are buffing this, but even if you just go and look at the base stats for each one, you'll see that the base stats for the cavalry is much higher than it is for the ranged or the ground. All right. Now, going back, so I picked that weird number for the cavalries before because I've done some tests on this, and so I know that that's the minimum amount that I need to get 0 wounded. So, like, if I sent one less, 18,016 instead of 18,017, and I go ahead and send that, whoops, you'll see that when I get the result, I'll have wounded. So you can see that I have the wounded there. So that one cavalry gave me enough attack power to be able to pass the threshold of killing the monster in the first attack and not letting it strike back. And that's the key to getting 0 wounded. Now, you can see that if you set buffs for things, so I sent Li Jing, and Li Jing gives me the buff for mounted. So if I find him down here, where'd he go? Oh, he's marching here. So you can see by looking at his power, so, he boosts the mounted troop attack by 35%. So that's, he's good for attacking monsters because he gives a good buff for that. And your attack bonus here, your attack power, that also is giving a 20.3% bonus to attack. And so, if you cultivate them and add it up, then it'll do even better. But you've got all kinds of things, and I think I've done a video about things that buff you in different ways before. So if I go to the blazon for the mounted, you can say, oh, I actually took this out on purpose so that I'm not getting the full bonus that I could. So if I go ahead and set this, so now I have the soul set, now all of a sudden I get this extra 30% boost attack on monsters, and this blazon in general also gives a 6.2% bonus attack on monsters. And so now if I go back and try to attack the same kind of creature, the level 20 barbarian, now I can send 16,589. So compared to the 18,017 that I needed before to kill it with no wounded, now I can send like 1,500 troops less. And I'll go ahead and it's also the power is going to be less. It's going to show less, but like I said, the power doesn't matter when you're attacking the monsters. And so if I go ahead and send this off and let it attack, you can see I have the 0 wounded. And so that's why you want to try to boost as much as possible your attack values for your mounted, generally, if you're going to be attacking monsters, because you can attack bigger monsters with less troops. And so, if you think that, I can't beat that thing, it's too big, you can give it a try and see, because sometimes you're going to get better results than you think you would. In general, the Night Bayars that you see around a lot, and the Cerberuses, they look much tougher than they are. I don't happen to see one now, but the power on those is huge, but you don't need to send that much power in order to kill it. You just need to send enough attack power, or attack strength, I should say, to not get it confused with the word power. And so that's all I wanted to say, is that when you're talking about PvP, things are a lot different. So don't take this as meaning your PvP only worries about power. That's not true. But for monsters, including the bosses, your attack is what is the biggest thing, because you want to be able to attack the monsters and kill them, because you get first strike, and if you have enough attack strength to kill it, they won't attack back. If you don't, you could just wound it. It's going to attack back, give you some wounded, and then you might finish it off in the second round. But the goal is always to get 0 wounded, and so you want the attack strength to be the maximum you can. And that's why we always say, you should pair your generals well. You want a good general that's going to boost your attack, and then a good assistant general that's also going to boost your attack. And the combination of those is going to make it so that your attack strength is going to be much higher than it would be without them. All right, so good luck attacking monsters.